Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the week of December 5th through December 9th, where we'll select our top swing trading stocks to watch, again for the trading week of December 5th through December 9th. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for this week. Again, this is a publicly available Google document. You should be able to find the link to this document in the description box below. We store all of these in a public Google Drive folder where you can find our weekly trading game plan notes for many of our past weekly trading game plans as well. And these Google documents give you links to further bonus videos, the tools we're using, etc. So again, we'll go through our notes and answer any questions you have. Good morning, DS Greg, Walter Lyons. Thank you for joining us in the live chat for our live stream today. Good to see you. Flip of the Shippa. Glad to see you all today. Hope you're all doing well. So if you have not already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week titled Pumpin Powell Returns, we'd highly recommend that you also view that video, as that has all of our market analysis, our trade ideas, our strategies, etc. That provide us our input for selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. So again, highly recommend you also view part 1. Good morning again, Gam. Glad to see you as well. So got quite a few. You'll see it was a busy week. We have a number of trade updates. Start out with some covered calls that we sold. And as you'll see, we're getting more active in the options area, and we have a lot of discussion at the end of the video talking about our options strategies, answering some questions from some of our fellow BeachBum traders. So we've had this position 3D Systems for quite a while, and you can see we sold a 25 January 17th, $15 covered call for 228. Again, self-generating some dividends on our position while we wait for it to swing back up. I'll try to buy it back cheaper and keep the difference in profits, and then just keep rinse and repeating. And again, just stacking cash on these various positions. Welcome, Ricky Khan. Thank you for joining us as well. Glad to see you all. Tanavir, good to see you too. Hope everyone's doing well. We had previously sold covered calls against our position in DRIP. We bought them back. We made about $15 per contract. As you can see, not large, but again, just generating these self-generating dividends and rinse and repeat. So I'll try to sell them again on DRIP. We went long FAZ, which is the bear 3x leveraged on the financial industry. So we went long on the first at 1633, and I'll jump over in a second and we'll look at this one in Webull. And then we got stopped out on the second at 1696. So we got a nice profit, ROI of almost 4%, which equates to a monthly ROI of about 115%. So the other nice thing about this trade is it didn't technically qualify as a day trade, since we bought it on the first, got stopped out on the second. Again, it wouldn't count against your day trade. So congratulations to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also profited from this scalp trade in FAZ. And as you'll see, we're going to try to do this again if we get another opportunity to go long again on FAZ. I just wanted to throw out a quick reminder as well for anybody, if you made profit on a trade like this on FAZ or on any of our other trades, please share that with your fellow traders. You're making money here, and we encourage people to come join us in the BeachBum trading community. Again, if you're making money on any of our trades, our watch lists, our trading strategies, let's build our community and get more traders making money as well. So we want to see everyone make money and succeed in trading. So let's look at this FAZ one real quick. I won't look at the DDD one, but here's the FAZ trade. If I zoom in to the first, you can see we went long on the first when it kind of bottomed out, rode it up, and then when it broke back down 1696 or so, we got stopped out, so we got a nice profit. If it comes back down to somewhere in this 1620 or 1620, 1619 area, we'll play this again, and there's a decent probability we might get another shot at it in the near future. So yeah, there's a number of financial, there's a number of potential. Flip is pointing out the issues with Blackstone, and there's a number of potential catalysts out there that might cause a dip. Just even the market's taking a dip, or actually it would spike in the financials, would drive FAZ back down. So, and then the catalyst like the Blackstone issue would give us a boost in FAZ. So good morning, Alan Krentz. Glad to see you as well in the live chat. Pets, we talked about some lessons learned with the stop limits in Fidelity last week. And I encountered that again this week. So I ended up actually selling rather than getting stopped out because that stop limit order didn't actually trigger. So I manually executed a sell when Pets broke down further below where we had our stop. So we had bought Pets on 1116. We sold on 1128 for a nice ROI of about almost 6%. So a monthly ROI of about 14%. And that's after we had qualified for collecting their next quarterly dividend of 30 cents per share. So we get to take that dividend, plus we get the price appreciation of about 16%. So congratulations also to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who also profited from this scalper swing trade in Pets. And again, that's another one, if it comes back down, we'll take another shot at Pets as well. So let's look at that one quickly in Webull. So I'll zoom out to the month. So we got in 1121 or so. So on this dip, you see, we got into Pets. We rode that up, got out with what was 1998. So when it rolled over below this support line, this pivot line, I sold it out. So we got that nice profit. And again, if it comes back down to this, 19, 18, 20 area, we'll take another shot at Pets. And again, we've already gotten their dividends, so there won't be another dividend for a couple months. So no rush. Also, we went long on SOX. SOX is the Bear 3X leveraged ETF on semiconductors. We've been talking for a while. We've been watching SOX. So we know a lot of the guidance on a lot of the semiconductors is negative. There's a lot of negative potential catalysts with the restriction on selling chips, etc., to China, as well as just recessionary pressures on like PC sales. We've heard also even data center sales may be impacted, etc. So that was part of our thesis with going long on SOX, which is again shorting the semiconductor industry. And we're still in that position in SOX. So if I zoom in, again, you can see we went long on that dip. We're currently riding it up. You see I'm staying, one level below, one support level below where the price is currently trading. So I currently have a stop sitting at 30.65. If it breaks above the next level, the R2 type level, then I would move that stop up to R1. And again, just keep manually trailing that. If it breaks down and stops me out, I still get a decent profit. So we'll see how that rebalances, tomorrow morning. We'll either get stopped out or we'll potentially get a gap up for further profit. So good morning, Mighty Soldiers. Mighty Soldier Trades. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you here as well. Hope you're doing well. It's a nice day. I hope you got some beach time. And then the USOI is the Credit Suisse ETN on oil. and we had entered that on 11/21 at 81.99. We got stopped out on 12/2 at 84.56. So we got a ROI, nice profit ROI of 3% on that, which equates to a 30-day monthly ROI of about 8.5%. So congratulations also to all of our fellow BeachBum traders who profited from this scalp swing trade in USOI. And again, this is another one we'll look for an opportunity if they continue to push oil down. We talked yesterday about the OPEC meeting today. We talked about the price caps on Russian oil. So there's a number of competing catalysts going on with oil. And if they just push it down, into the 70s again, we'll go long ROI. USOI, it goes again, ex-dividend again on the 18th. And so part of my logic here, and I thought I'd share this with you, is their dividend payment on the 18th is, I think, $1.76 per share. So what I figured is if I was going to get more than $1.75 in price appreciation, or more than $1.76 in price appreciation, then it would benefit me to take that price appreciation profit, especially since I have a couple weeks before the ex-dividend to get back in and still collect that dividend. If it was under $1.75 or so in price appreciation, then it would just make sense to hold it and collect that dividend. So again, we took the price appreciation. If they do push oil back down, we'll get a shot at being able to also collect that dividend. So again, that's some logic I wanted to share with you, that, you want to compare what are you going to earn in the dividend versus what are you getting in price appreciation. Sometimes it'll make sense to take your profits and give up the dividend. Other times it'll make more sense to wait and collect the dividend and then hope the price appreciates after that. So good morning, David Spielvogel. Thank you for joining us as well. So let's look at the USOI trade. Again, I went in on the 21st at 81.99, out at 84.56 on the 2nd. So you see when it dipped, we went in, got long, rode it up. When it rolled over on the 2nd, we got stopped out when it broke down below that resistance level. So we got that nice profit. Again, if it comes down, now my price target is down at 78.77, which was the recent low. The low in oil around 75. So right now, let's see what oil is sitting at. Let's see if it's gotten any reaction from the OPEC stuff. Right now, it's sitting at 80.34. So I don't see a whole lot of movement right now. So again, we'll see if we can get an opportunity to get back in USOI before the ex-dividend date on the 18th and collect that dividend and then scalp this again for some more profit. Welcome, Kyle. Thank you for joining us as well. Glad to see we got a real good group. So just another quick reminder, if you want to get real-time alerts on the trades that we make, we do post those to our Patreon members as soon as possible after we make a trade, if we get stopped out, etc. So as quickly as possible, our Patreon members receive email notifications, and then also I post those in the alerts channels in our Discord, which our Patreon members have access to as well. So you can see when we got stopped out on FAZ, I posted the update in the Trade Alerts channel. There are also automated price alerts that get triggered from Thinkorswim that get posted to the Thinkorswim channel. So again, our Patreon members have access to the alerts channels and get email notifications on our trades. Again, we don't blindly recommend, or we don't recommend that anyone blindly follow our trades or anyone else's trades. You need to make your trading decisions for yourself. But if you find these alerts helpful in getting your trade ideas, taking advantage of some opportunities, we would encourage you to take advantage of our Patreon membership for those benefits. So, and I'm glad that you're finding them beneficial, Ollie, and welcome. Good morning. So I don't have any specific lessons learned. Again, just a reminder, we have a lessons learned channel. It's a public channel. Our Discord is free to join. So there are many other channels that you can access where people post trade ideas, help each other out in their trading, post their lessons learned, etc. So again, our Discord's free to join. You can find a link in the description box below for to join our Discord. Okay, let me grab a drink a second, and then we'll jump into our real-time watch list updates for this week. And okay, let me spin through what I've got on the watch list. Again, this is our real-time watch list, so this is what we're watching in real time. We have automation that runs and alerts me of price action in these stocks that are on this watch list, and we'll talk about our bullpen coming up. So we're still watching BDRY, that's dry bulk shipping. We'll look at the chart on that in a minute. We put Disney back on the watch list after we got stopped out of our long position in Disney and November 17th. As you'll see, it kind of ran up a little bit. We'll take a look at it. We'll also talk about selling cash secured puts against a position in Disney as well. FAZ again, we scalped that once. We'll try that again. SOX, we're currently long on SOX. If you're not already into SOX, we can look again at where that's sitting. Still not a bad opportunity if you're not already. It's run up a little bit, but if you get a push down, you might get another shot at SOX as well. Seagate we've talked about. You can again see this bonus due diligence video on Seagate, again via the link in our notes. USOI we talked about. We got stopped out of our position. Again, here's the ex-dividend date on the 18th. The dividend is expected to be $1.76 per share, so 40% yield. So it's a very juicy dividend. We would like to get that if we get a chance at getting back into USOI prior to December 18th. Okay, and yesterday we talked about volatility, trading volatility. We looked at how the VIX has been retracing, reverting to its mean. It's continuing to trail off. Right now, I looked at it a minute ago, and the VIX is sitting at 1906. So it's continuing to revert. The way we want to play the VIX right now is we want to go long the VIX going into the next Fed interest rate decision meeting, which is on the 14th. So we want to go long the VIX, long volatility using UVXY, so the leveraged ETF to long the VIX. However, we want to keep an eye on the VIX itself to see where it bottoms to make our decision as to when to go in long on UVXY, because as we'll see, it's currently just trailing off as the VIX reverts, as it reverts to its mean. UVXY is just going to keep going lower until the VIX bottoms and turns up. Now, just some other strategy things we might have talked a little bit about yesterday is, again, going into the Fed decision. I would expect some bets long on the VIX going into that decision. And also the VIX, as you know, it tends to pop a little bit on Mondays. So I would expect a little bit of a spike in the VIX. The rest of the week, unless we get some news that causes some pop, I would expect it to continue to trail off. We'll see how low the VIX gets. It's now below 20. Could go down to 18-ish. But then going into the next meeting, I would expect people loading up on volatility. So maybe by next Friday might be a good time to get into UVXY. So again, our Patreon members get an automatically generated web page. We automatically regenerate the web page with our watch list that includes price targets, etc. So if you're a member of our Patreon, you'll have access to that daily web page with the daily updates to our watch list. If I make any changes during the day or like pre-market or whatever, I'll also post them to a stocks watch list channel that our Patreon members have access to. So if you'd also like to have access to that watch list with daily updates and also any kind of intraday changes, our Patreon members have access to that. So, and I will add the link in the banner. You can find the link to our Patreon in the description box below, and I'll also throw it up in the banner. So again, if you'd find that helpful when you're trading, we hope it helps. And we're going to talk about some potential additional enhancements to that automatically generated watch list as well. So now let's go to Webull and we'll look at the charts. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, as you can see, we use Webull for our market analysis, for our Part 1 weekly trading game plans. We use it for due diligence. We use it for the majority of our trading. And they're still offering 12 free stocks when you open and fund a new account in Webull. So again, it's our favorite trading platform. We really like the 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. trading hours. We like the options capabilities in Webull. Again, it's our favorite trading platform. So if you're not already using Webull, why not open an account? You get 2 free stocks, each valued up to $300. If you deposit any amount, even a penny, you can get up to 10 more free stocks valued up to $3,000 each. So again, if you're not already using Webull, it's our favorite trading platform. It's the one we do the majority of our actual trading in. You'll see how we have many watch lists in Webull that we'll go through, and you can get 12 free stocks. So if you don't like the platform, you can always cash out your free stocks, take your money, and use whatever platform you would prefer. So if I look at my real-time watch list, I'll zoom that guy out a little bit. There's BDRY. You can see it's a little above. I'd kind of like it in this, 675 range. It's run up a little bit, so we've been watching it for a little while. Disney's run up. It does for in the middle of the week. It looked like we might get a retracement. But then it bounced back up. So we'll see if we get a retracement in Disney. It may just run away. So here's FAZ. We reviewed our trade. We went long there to there. So if it comes back down in this 1620 area, we'll go long FAZ again. Seagate's kind of high. I might end up taking it off. It has run up, but if we get a push down in tech, bond yields spike up, and we get a money flow out of tech, we might get a shot at Seagate. USOI we talked about. Again, now I want to move my price target down, in this area. And we talked about, you can see how UVXY is just, pretty much just trailing off as the VIX is reverting, as the VIX is retracing down. So I expect this to just continue until the VIX bottoms and turns. And again, I expect that going into the next Fed meeting prior to the 13th, 14th. So. Now, the next set of stocks is our bullpen. And if you're new to our channel, the concept of the bullpen stocks is, as we mentioned, our main watch list. We watch real time. We run some automation against those stocks to alert us, whereas the bullpens are ones we're not watching real time. We revisit at the end of the day to see if their setup's improved. If it looks like the setup's improved, then we put them in the game, move them up to our real-time watch list. If they've broken down or run away or whatever, then we just take them out of the bullpen. So again, it's ones we visit at the end of the day. And if they look like they're going to improve their setup, then we jump in and put them in the game, move them up to our watch list, and I update the watch list accordingly. So Now, one we're adding to our bullpen this week is one we've watched in the past. It's FCAP, First Capital Inc. It's a regional bank. You can see they pay about a 4.4% dividend. They go ex-dividend on the 18th as well. It's paying 26 per share. It's a quarterly dividend. You'll see it's kind of low float, somewhat illiquid. It's not optionable, but it's trading below cash and appears to be profitable. And it's in the financial sector. So we'll see the chart. You know, we've tried to watch this guy, tried to get him in the past, and it is very choppy. It's kind of illiquid, but we'll keep an eye on it and see if it presents an opportunity. Past couple weeks, we talked about Flex Shopper, and again, you can see this bonus due diligence video that I did on Flex Shopper. You know, what we're looking for, what our time frame is on Flex Shopper. You can hear in that due diligence video. So we're just kind of keeping an eye on it for now. And we're going to take Nail off the bullpen. As you'll see, Nail's run up, and we're not going to chase it. This was Home Builders, and right now it's run up already. We'll see if it comes back down, and if so, we'll put it back in the bullpen. But for now, we're going to take Nail off of our bullpen. So again, you know, another nice thing in Webull, I can have all kinds of different watch lists. So I've got my bullpen. Here's FCAP, regional bank. As you can see, it's very choppy, pretty illiquid, not a lot of trading during some days. And again, it'll chop around. I'd kind of like it down here in this 2348 area. So we'll see if we get an opportunity. Got, you know, nice potential upside. And it pays a dividend. Here's FPay, Flex Shopper, and again, please watch the due diligence video in terms of, you know, what we're looking for in Flex Shopper. It's pretty much a wait and see story. So, and then if I look at Nail, just to show you how it's run up. So you can see Nails, you know, run up quite a bit. So we're taking that one off of our bullpen. Okay. So now we're going to look at our ETF spreadsheet. If anybody has a category, you know, to a particular index, category, etc., you want to look at, please throw that in the chat, and I'll try to focus on that. Again, this is our ETF spreadsheet, and our Patreon members have access to this 24/7. We talked yesterday about how we can use the various charts in the Groups tab in FinViz to identify extremes in some of the sectors, industries, sub-industries, commodities, etc. And then if you identify an extreme and want to find out, okay, what ETFs could I use to long or short that particular industry or sub-industry, you can jump over to this ETF spreadsheet and find, you know, the ETFs that you could long or short that particular category with. So otherwise, I will spin through them and try to look at anybody else that's got a good risk reward. Again, the greens are risk reward profiles greater than 2. And I like to see, you know, at least 2 or 3 greens. And then I'll look at the support level, like we see LabU. Okay, it looks pretty good, but I'd like it down at the 4. LabU is the long on biotech. See, there's LabD, so short or long on biotech. So we looked at, let's see, where's copper? Again, some pairs, if you're a day trader, momentum trader, breakout trader, there's some pairs that you could trade pretty much all the time. Just pick the direction the market's moving. China is one. You can long China with yen, short China with yang. Right now, yen's been running up, yang's been running down. So, but on any given day, they move. There's copper. It's not all that attractive right now. We talked about the Dow. It's running pretty high, but again, the risk reward's not that great to short it yet. Here's BDRY, so we can see we'd like it at 675. Looks pretty attractive. So all your energy stocks. Gold, again, gold and silver have been pretty volatile. Gold's run up over 1,800 again. You can see, if you want to trade those volatility events, there's a number of ETFs you can use to long or short gold. We typically use GDXU to long. We've got a long position GLDI, collecting monthly dividends. Here's Nail, home builders. So again, the risk reward, we'd like it down at 19 or so. So it's not all that attractive anymore. It's run up already. Cold and boil, there's another pair that, on any given day, nat gas can swing 10%. So plenty of money to make. Now, again, it's very volatile. You have to, be nimble, but oil and natural gas. So we typically use boil long, cold short. And then with oil, you can do gush long, drip short, or UCO long, SVO short. Again, you can see at any time what the risk reward profiles are. And then here's USOI. So you can see it's got a pretty nice risk reward profile. But again, we'd like it, down at that 78, 77 level. Here's SOX S and SOX L, so we can see SOX S is attractive right now. Like it down at that, 29.53, 29.38. There's short on silver. Silver's been running up, so if that comes, down to that 18.22, we might look at a short on silver. Here's some to do solar. We've talked about they've been running solar up and down. If you see solar start to run up, a couple ETFs you can use for solar is TAN and RAISE. You can see the risk reward profiles. BTI we talked about. It's not terribly, it's not terribly attractive right now, but again, we'll talk about our strategy for using cash secured puts with BTI. And then we've got TLT, TMF. Again, right now they're, they're kind of in the middle. They're long's not all that attractive. Again, if you're day trading, short-term trading, there are also ways to short the treasuries. Essentially, you're longing yield, shorting price. So you can do 20 years. There's a couple ones to short. You can do 7 to 10s. Again, they're not showing as all that attractive right now. But again, a day trading type of opportunity is different from a swing, right? Okay, and then UVXY, again, it's just trailing off, making new lows. But again, pretty decent risk to reward profile. So if anybody else has another category you want to look at, let me know in the chat while I grab a drink. We can look at that, or otherwise I'll jump to some questions and answers that some of our fellow BeachBum traders have posed. Okay. Tanbeer asks, is there a 2-year Treasury ETF? And let me look. I don't think I have one. Put your question up there. The ones I have for, let's see, Treasuries. So there's 7 to 10, 7 to 10. I would have to look in the ETF database, and it either doesn't exist or the risk reward profile is not attractive. Now let me just quickly flip over a couple tabs. This is where I copy paste out of the ETF database. Again, this is something y'all can use if you want. I just copy paste the rows out of the ETF database and then fill in the top, bottom, etc. But that again gives me a snapshot of the risk reward profile, so I can see, okay, did I already look at some of these? You can see I was looking at currencies. I was looking at aluminum. Okay, I don't see one offhand for treasuries. Also, this is where I do further research. Again, same way, fill in the top and bottoms, the support and resistance to look at the risk reward profile. So I don't see one there. So again, it either doesn't exist or I looked at it and the risk reward profile wasn't a 2 to 1 or better, in which case I would not be interested in it. So I will put that down in our questions, and I will try to get back to you. I hope hopefully you're in our Discord, and I will check the ETF database again. Just a quick reminder too, if you want to check for yourself, in the links section on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. Again, you can find links to our Patreon, our Discord, invite to our Discord, etc., all our social media sites, also links to platforms, and then also tools and resources. So again, there's a link to both the ETF database, ETF comparison tool, FinViz, investing.com, etc. So, all the resources, tools, etc. I put as a in this link section as a quick reference. So again, you can use that too as another quick reference to access the ETF database or the ETF comparison tool, etc. So okay, so you wanted 2-year Treasury ETFs. I'll try to look into that, and I'll try to respond to you in our Discord or in next week's weekly trading game plan. Good, you're in the Discord, so that makes it easier. So yeah, I'll check those out, and we can look at shorter term too. People have been interested in the very short monthly, 3 months, etc., because they've been running up and been more volatile nowadays. So just real quick, just a reminder about our shopping list. I won't talk about it a whole lot. Shopping lists are, stocks you always wanted to buy, and you're just waiting to get a good price, catch them on a dip. Now, just a number of potential warnings with that, and I'll throw in an additional one in a second, is, don't pick something that's going to get caught up in the FTX bankruptcy fallout. Be wary of that. Watch out for zombie companies, zombie stocks, zombie ETFs. Make sure they're inflation proof. We've still got very high inflation. Interest rates are still going up. Whether they go up 0.5 in December or 0.75 in December, they're still going to go up, and they're still going to be going up into next year. And whether we're currently in a recession or headed for one, just make sure that your shopping list stocks are recession proof. So now, big topic we've started talking about the past couple weeks, and I got some questions specifically in our Discord about our option strategies. So the past couple weeks we've been talking about selling cash secured puts. So we've been talking about all these aspects. I won't cover the things we've covered before, but my question to you all is if you would be interested in an additional automatically generated watch list with price targets for stocks at which we're looking at potentially selling cash secured puts. And I'll show you, I have a watch list in Webull with the ones we're currently looking at and some that I'm considering adding to that list, potentially selling cash secured puts against, or things like Amazon, Google. I don't know about Tesla. Tesla's pretty volatile. RH, Restoration Hardware, CRM, Netflix. Again, I'm just thinking about those, but the ones we're currently looking at actually selling puts. Disney. Again, if Disney, I think I may even have a sell out to sell a cash secured put down at 85-ish on Disney. I think I already do. Realty Income, again, anything about under 60. I would like, I think I've got a sell out on O as well already. And VTI, anything under 174, 175. And again, I think I already have a sell cash secured puts out on BTI at like 175 or below. So again, just another way to generate additional income, additional money, particularly in the choppy market. We talked about last week that, in my humble opinion, when the market's choppy like this is a great strategy to generate additional revenue. And you just, rinse and repeat. As these guys bounce up and down, you're making money. You're selling them when they go down in terms of cash secured puts, buy it back when it goes up, and rinse and repeat, just stack cash. So some other questions from our Discord is one that Heisenberg asked in our Discord, and you can follow this discussion in our Discord as well. But he was asking about 13F filings and how to read 13F filings, track them, etc. And Spacula was nice enough to respond that 13Fs are quarterly reports from institutional investors managing over 100 million of their current holdings. I also pointed him to the previous video we did on Form 4 filings and how to read them, which you can access via the link in the notes. Again, it's currently unlisted, but you can go see our video on how to read Form 4 SEC filings. And also Solidago responded and gave references to where you can find those in Edgar, and also the Investopedia article that explains Form 13F filings. And I'm currently working on a similar video to what we did for Form 4 filings for also 13F filings. So please view the Form 4 video and let me know if you like that format, don't like that format, recommended improvements, etc. Because we can do other similar videos on other types of SEC filings. Like I'm working on the 13F to respond to Heisenberg. So the next set of questions Heisenberg asked was, does anyone trade covered calls or cash secured puts? And so I promptly, raised my hand. Yeah, that's what we do. We sell covered calls, and we just recently started selling cash secured puts. And I referred him to the notes that we have above there that we've been talking about the cash secured put strategy for a couple weeks. And then I also, he asked then, how do you determine the strike price and days to expiration or expiration date? So again, it's a little bit more complicated than I wanted to try to explain in a response in Discord. So what I did is I developed a video that, again, it's a bonus video, currently unlisted, but as a bonus for participating in our watching our weekly trading game plan this week, you can access this option strategies for beginners. I expect this will probably become a series of videos on our option strategies, our evolving option strategies, because I expect them to continue to evolve. But this also shows what our strategies are, what our techniques are, how we're using some automated systems to assist in selecting the strike price and the expiration date at which we want to sell a cash secured put or sell a covered call. And then also in probably a future video, I'll also include how it updates me on buying them back. So again, the first step is figure out your strategy, techniques, your rules for whatever option strategy you want to use. And then if you have the inclination or ability to automate that to assist you, I found that pretty much a necessity, because otherwise it's just too complicated for me to keep up, particularly with a significant number of positions. So take a look at that video. Hopefully that will answer the questions about, how do we pick the strike price and the expiration date for our covered calls and cash secured puts right now. They're Tanbeer, they are on YouTube. They're just currently unlisted, so I haven't published them. We'll eventually publish them. They've already been sent out to our Patreon members as well. So yeah, eventually I'll publish them as public. You can access them right now via this link. They are up on YouTube. Again, they just won't show as publicly published yet. Then yesterday, and I apologize if I missed your question while we were still live yesterday, Flippa. He asked about do you do any 0 days to expiration option trading, and the answer is no. We don't currently do any 0 days to expiration option trading. So again, just not even something I've considered, looked into yet. We're still learning, evolving, and again, our strategies are pretty risk averse, pretty low risk. Again, we're doing most of our options trading in retirement accounts, so that does have some restrictions. And also, again, pretty low risk. When I'm selling covered calls, I have the stock. So if it gets called away and I'm always selling it at a strike price, that would be profitable to me. So I'm not going to lose money. And if it doesn't hit that strike price, I keep the premium, get my own self-generated dividend. I get to keep it, and then I still have the stock. So, and again, if it gets called away, if the covered call goes above the strike price, that's fine. I make a profit and I get to keep the premium. And at the cash secured puts, I'm buying them at a price that I've decided, okay, yeah, that's a stock I'd be willing to own, and at a strike price that I'd be willing to buy it. And yeah, there's some risk that it could go lower and I miss out on some opportunity. Same way with the covered calls. I could be missing out on some upside opportunity, but again, I'm still making a profit. And I'm comfortable with that, and it's very low risk. So I'm just checking for any other questions. If I missed your question, please throw it back up in the chat. We'll try to answer a couple before we wrap for today. Again, if there's, if you have any other questions outside of our live streams, you can put them in the comments below the videos. You can always ask them in our discords. Please tag me, BeachBum Trading, in the Discord. The main channel is the Beach Party, but we also have specific channels for options, for futures, for stocks, etc. So just tag me on your question, so I'll be able to see it. You can put, again, comments underneath the video. We have a Facebook group you can also ask questions, and you can always also tag us in social media with any subsequent questions you may have. And again, you can find links to the invite to our Discord in the links section on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com, bum without the U. So there's our Discord, our Facebook group, all of our other social media sites, etc. Is that Alan's asking MO dividend? Not familiar with MO. So let me quickly look it up. So again, you can see how I use that link section, get to FinViz. Oh, Altria, okay. Okay, so it's got a 7% dividend. So here's another nice trick, because it's a little bit harder to find the ex-dividend dates, the dividends in FinViz. I'd have to dig through the news, but if you go to Webull and you look up the stock and you pop up the lower section, you can go to corporate actions, and I can see, okay, it's a quarterly dividend, so they last paid on 9/14 was the last ex-dividend, so I would expect the next ex-dividend would probably be 12/14 or around that. And you can see they've been increasing their dividend. So, without doing a lot of due diligence on the company, I know what they are. They're a tobacco company, etc. And so they're paying a nice, healthy dividend just because of the political incorrectness that some people perceive companies like that. So yeah, it's paying a nice dividend. Again, in terms of owning and holding the stock long term, obviously, again, the political correctness issues, I believe they're getting into some smokeless tobacco stuff. I think they have some cannabis stuff. So again, I'd have to do more due diligence in terms of owning it. But you see, it's already kind of run up, so it's not a great price to buy it for the value as a value. But if you want to get the 7% dividend, looks like you need to get in before about 12/14, and 7% is pretty decent. At least you're close to inflation, if not beating inflation. So the question is, why are you buying it? Just for the dividend or for potential price appreciation? It does have some upside. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers the question. Just seeing if I'm missing anything else. Again, if you have subsequent questions, put it in the comments, hit us up in Discord, social media, Facebook group, and otherwise we wish you great luck. Have a great trading week. Let's all go make some money this week. So have a great one. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you online. Bye.